Now, this particular flipper is back with more victims. We talked about it in the past, but let's see what's happening now.
Five responds. For months, we've been digging into a so-called real estate Ponzi scheme. It's accused of financially decimating dozens of Southside families, and those allegations are detailed in recent lawsuits filed against a home flipping business called iFlip Chicago.
Now, they're accused of luring inexperienced investors into predatory loans, resulting in bankruptcies and a slew of foreclosures across the Woodlawn area. And since our first story aired last month, more alleged victims have contacted PJ Rendawa, showing us the supposed scheme may have an even bigger impact than we first thought.
They promised a path to financial freedom, a shot at building generational wealth.
Make an investment and leave a legacy for your children and your children's children.
Ramo and Michelle Bay run iFlip Chicago, and if you have a little bit of money to invest, they claim to provide everything else you need to successfully flip a home, from the contractors to the funding.
We have over $30 million worth of rehab funding.
But according to two lawsuits, Ramo Bay allegedly lured inexperienced investors into signing up for predatory loans with him. The loans were cross-collateralized, meaning if Ramo fell behind on any other loans in his name, the iFlip investors he recruited would be responsible for paying his debt. As a result, nearly a dozen investors tell NBC5 Response they couldn't access the loan money they needed to finish their flips.
All right, first of all, stop giving people your money to invest. Do it yourself. We got to get out of that mindset. And second, this cross collateral style, I've seen this before. I know a guy that does it on the commercial side, but he's a little bit different with it, right? He'll put everybody in the same room. So, for example, if there's 10 projects going on, he'll have all 10 people in the same room. He'll say, hey, your loan is tied into this person's loan. Here's the lender. The lender will be in the room, and he explains the entire thing, puts everybody in the group chat, and does it openly for people to understand, right? But this sounds like, he may be new to this cross collateral, or maybe he's trying to hide something. But this is a practice that some hard money lenders do, where they'll allow you to have multiple projects and they'll tie all the projects together. But being open and honest about it up front is the best way to do it, especially when you have other people that are investing money. So that way people understand. And, when you're open and honest, people feel as though, they can trust you more. But when you kind of like do it behind their back, that's when it starts to get ugly.
It's like getting in bed with the devil.
Every day I came in the game when I lost.
With the interest on their loans accumulating, these investors say they had no choice but to dip into their own funds to start renovating their properties. But there was another challenge.
It's falling apart.
You feel like this will snap at some point?
It's gonna snap.
The investors say the poor quality of work done by iFlip's contractors.
Now, if you've been here for a while, you know that when it comes to renovation work, it's always the small details, right? So if you look at this socket, right? I took some buyers out recently, the past couple of days. And as soon as I walk into a home, I can tell okay, there's going to be a bunch of inspection items just off the small stuff. Like, look at this wall socket, if there's no caulking around the toilet, it's the small stuff that lets you know the quality of the contractor. And, 9 times out of 10, the people that are like this, that move like this, most likely are not licensed either. The painting should be clean. The way the fixtures are installed should be done the correct way. Of course, not everybody's going to know that is an average person is going to know what stuff is supposed to look like at code. But even stuff that doesn't have a code to it, like, clean painting, the architecture, like, you can always look at that stuff, for me, because I'm experienced, and see, like, whoever did this fucking sucks.
Led each home to fail multiple city inspections.
Basically, everything that took place in our home was against the city code.
It's raining in the room.
So almost all of the work completed had to be torn out and redone.
So I just took this drywall down. This is what's behind the wall.
Yeah, see? So they don't have license. He don't even have licensed contractors.
I'm over $100,000 into this property.
Tiffany Brown was ultimately able to complete the renovation on her own, but Deshaun Carr and Miranda Booker's properties ended up in foreclosure.
It's sitting here because nothing else could be done. Why? Because all of our funds had run out.
In a statement to NBC5 Response last month, Ramos said he and his clients were a victim of predatory lending and that language in the loans was never disclosed or explained at closing.
See, here's the thing, right? So hard money is kind of predatory lending if you don't know what you're doing. If a hard money lender gives you a hard money loan, that's because they know that they can take that house from you and flip it themselves. So that's what happens with hard money. If you default on a hard money loan, they're going to flip the house themselves. That's how it works. But if they look at it and say, "Oh, no, we can't make money off that," they're not going to give you the money. Okay. And here's the other thing that people don't know about hard money. Let's just say a hard money lender lends you the money to buy a house, and now you want to get in and start rehabbing. You have to foot the bill yourself at first. So, for example, you're doing a demolition. You got to pay for that out of pocket. Then the hard money lender reimburse you, right? That's how it works. So these are things that people don't know, especially when it comes to, being new at this and trying to get in the game without understanding how this stuff works.
But emails and documents obtained by NBC5 Response show Ramos signed up more than 20 iFlip investors for these loans. And he was repeatedly told his debts were being tacked on to other investors' loans. The lawsuits offer a possible motive for all of this. They accuse him of conspiring with the lender, Envision Funding, to profit off the pricey loan extension fees many investors paid to avoid defaulting on their loans.
I paid $95,000.
The extensions and everything was another $30,000.
Ramo denies that allegation, but his denials don't explain this. On Deshaun's closing paperwork from 2021, Ramo lists himself as a loan officer for Envision Funding.
He created a system that he can make money through the whole process without putting no money up and without no risk.
It's another strand of a web that has led more than a dozen iFlip investors into foreclosure.
This ain't just a bad situation. This was a scheme.
Last month, Ramo Bey agreed to do an interview with us, and he even posted online about how he was looking forward to defending himself in court. Well, Ramo did not respond to our latest request for that interview, and neither he nor his attorney has shown up in court to answer to those 2 civil lawsuits he's facing from iFlip investors in Cook County. Meantime, the president of Envision Funding told us they are unable to comment on pending litigation. PJ Randawa, NBC5 responds.
Yeah, so that's unfortunate. That's pretty much how these things work. I mean, I'm pretty sure the lender is giving him some sort of commission on the business that they're bringing in. That's something that is totally normal on the side of hard money. I've seen it before. They give you points on people's loans. Now, as far as the extensions, I'm not really sure, but that may be something in agreement that they have. But all in all, if you're somebody interested in getting into flipping, there's nothing wrong with paying a mentor, right, to walk you through the process. But stop looking to invest with other people. Now, if you are interested in investing with somebody, right, let me tell you the right way to do it. Do not send them the money, okay? We have something called protecting your position. What needs to happen is you need to be sending the money to a title company, and they put the money in a trust. So that way you're attached to the property and you can protect your position. So because you're attached to it, that property can't go anywhere unless you're at the table also signing off on it because you were a part of, let's just say, for example, the acquisition, right? So there are ways to protect yourself. And the best way to find out how to protect yourself and it won't cost you any money? Reach out to a title company, all right? Title companies have lawyers, right? And they'll work for you for free pretty much or give you advice for free, especially if you plan on using them in the future. So what you do is just find a title company in your area, let them know what's going on. Hey, I met this mentor guy. He wants me to put money up, Explain to them everything. And they will, from a legal perspective, because they're lawyers, will tell you the right way to go about it so that you're not just out here just winging it. Okay? So I hope this helps, and thanks for watching.